Hey, it's Rio. It is Wednesday, day 17 of our class. We are over halfway through this class, and it's probably the time I need to do a little check-in and kind of talk about the way this class ends for various reasons. One is that you've all, and I would say most of you, have done a really great job to this point about staying up with the work. I've really been impressed with the level of challenges we started with, right? So thinking back, which I know may seem like a long time ago, but at the middle of June when we started this adventure, there were quite a few challenges that Blackboard posed to us. So I would believe I've lost more students than normal, but the students that have hung out, I feel like have really responded to this condensed format in a way that I've really been impressed with. And I have to say for myself, I really found this to be more natural than I expected. And what I've found is by checking in daily, grading daily, keeping it updated, I know for me I feel more connected. I wonder if you feel more connected to the classroom in that case, or in this case the online class. So if you'd be willing to either send that feedback to me directly or put it in Get Help or whatever, so here's the question I'm posing is, knowing that I was coming in and grading on a daily basis, did that help you stay connected and focused, do you feel, or was it just the compressed format, right? Because one of the things I would like to do is recommend to the campus that we think about running more of these compressed classes. And the reason is I think it just works. I know for me, in my graduate program at National, we did a class in a month, and it really helped for me to focus on one thing, typically, and get it done and then focus on the next. So I think it's good feedback for us as a campus to know if this worked well for you, and to see if we can make them maybe, or suggest to them to do this in the future. So anyway, back to the course. So here we are, looking just briefly here at the calendar, right? Here we are in week, I don't even know what week it is in the semester. Isn't that funny? Actually, I could know by looking here, right? So if I actually also have the syllabus up here, it actually, I didn't do it by week. I only did it by day. So it looks like it's probably about 3 weeks in though. So week 11 classwork and your second project, right? I've already had a couple of you turn this project in, so I actually and done very well on it. So I hope you actually experience that as well. It's due tonight, so hopefully get that done on time. Maybe what you've noticed too is that here's what I'm doing. Starting out the first week, when students didn't get an item done, I would put a 0, and then I said something like, you can still submit this as late work. So what I've done since then is, instead of putting any content, I've just put a 0. And part of the reason why is that as students submit late work, I've been grading it, versus you asking me. So I've actually, one of the things I've learned through the summer process is actually, instead of having the students ask me, if they do it, I just grade it. So it does get diminished by 25% for the most part when you submit late. And here's the other thing, and I'll just be honest with you, what I do is I'll grade like on a whatever day it is, and then a day or so later I'll put those zeros in. So you actually do end up with a little more time, but don't count on that, because really the way this rolls is that you stay connected, you get the work done, I grade it, you know where you're at all times, you know what you need to do. And maybe that's the reason students are typically, it seems to me, more engaged than in a longer 18-week format. Whatever. Be interesting to know. So turning back to the course and looking at where we're at, you can see that the items here, how it rose. What I want to do is scroll up here and look at this date, which is the 30th and the 31st, and that is a Wednesday and a Thursday, right? So if I could go back to the calendar, but if I look at this, right, so we're really, if I look at it here, we're really 2 weeks away from the beginning of the end of the class. Okay, so you'll hear me talking about this, and you've already heard me doing a little, I think, in the classroom discussions about how the end of the semester works. Okay, so it's really important that you understand the last date to ask me to grade any late work. Again, don't confuse that with what I was saying before. If you submit it, I'm going to grade it, but the last date to submit any work into Blackboard really is the 30th, right, at midnight. And even that, by now, probably some of you know that I get up in the morning, and if it's there in the morning, it's still, to me, on time. So, but this is going to be an important week. for a couple of reasons. One is that I'm traveling. Just like at the beginning of the semester I was traveling, I told you at the end I was traveling. I actually leave this Sunday and I'll be gone all the way through the end of the semester, right? So, how did it move forward? So going back to the calendar here, looking at, I leave Sunday and then this entire, I'm here next week. It's the week after. So the week after I leave. God, I'm glad I had that confused. It makes me realize I have a little more time than I thought. But still, it's important to understand that that last week of the semester I will be traveling. Now what that really means, and the reason I bring that up honestly is this, is that if you're struggling with a particular aspect of this class, reach out to me, email me directly and say, hey Rio, could I meet with you? I had a student do this and I kind of realized in hindsight maybe I didn't make it as clear as I should have, that I don't have a problem meeting you on campus. I just need a little bit of a notice for me to get there. So at least give me 24 hours so that I can, and if my schedule allows, if I don't already have something scheduled, I'm more than happy to meet with you on campus, okay? But know that if you need to meet with me, it's only the rest of this week and next week. But after that, I'll be gone, okay? So again, I started all this by looking at the end of the semester, right? So you have your SimNet final, everything is available, you all know that, right? So at that date, at that Wednesday night at midnight or the next morning after I grade, then we move into the review day. So you have 24 hours, this is what this is, you have 24 hours to look at your grade and to ask me for any clarifications or if something got missed, okay? But at that point there'll be no more working on the class, okay? So it's not like it's not like this review day is actually a day that you can continue working. You can't, because honestly the other thing I do is I remove access to the items for you to work on. So plan accordingly for the end of the semester, okay? Know that you can finish honestly at any point if you work ahead, which I have always recommended, and some of you do, and I think it really does benefit you by allowing you to be in a good position. Now, by the way, the item this week for classwork, or for today, is a really important item. That whole My Grade spreadsheet is A, good to learn, and B, really helps you do this planning at the end of the semester, so it can help you answer the following type of questions. What do I need to do to pass this class? Or what if I do this work, how does it affect my grade? Or where am I going to end up at the end? Or do I need to take the final or the chapter final? And if you ask me those questions, what I'm going to say is look at the My Grade spreadsheet. So look at the My Grade spreadsheet, answer those questions yourselves, not just for my class, but for any class you can do something similar as that spreadsheet. That's why it's so important, okay? So know that that's how it ends, and then that's a Thursday. So a Thursday you have a review day, asking any questions about your grade, and then I wake up Friday morning and I put grades into WebAdvisor, okay? That's the way this works, and if you're asking me a question on Friday about your grade, it is too late, because here's the deal, your grade is your responsibility. I shouldn't point, I pointed back what is that? One finger to you, 4 back to me, because obviously we share the responsibility because I grade, but it is your responsibility when I give you the spreadsheet for you to understand if there's something that wasn't correct in there, that we get it corrected for you, okay? Alright, so I think that kind of helps hopefully at the end, and by the way, hopefully helps you get to the end. And what I would also say is, remember this issue we were having with the loading of the discussion boards, and I had put this stuff out. I'd have 2 more I'll do. There's 2 more coming up, which is the fake book, which requires you to have a Gmail account, and then also I think a technology, personal technology, a writing assignment. So even though I tried it today and it still lagged in Chrome, it did load eventually. So hopefully, and I talked, by the way, I had an extensive conversation with our IT folks yesterday about the whole issues at the start of the semester, and I complained very hard and was really trying to be your best advocate here to say this was crazy how many issues we had. But they assured me that it was just a series of unfortunate incidents that, except for this one issue that they're still working on, will be cleared up. So there are alternatives to making this work, which is, by the way, Firefox. I really recommend using Firefox for Blackboard and for SimNet. So it's like if you're not using Firefox or Chrome, I definitely recommend using them. Okay, so just to kind of give you my final pitch of this class, now that once you've gotten through this class and you think, you know, I really enjoyed some of the hands-on assignments like the network commands or the fake book or the task manager, and I want to learn more about computers, where do I go? So let me just give you my pitch. First is that there's a class we have after this called CIT-12, which is Computer Concepts. And I think that's a great class for students that want to continue on this vein of just learning more about computers. It will cover Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Access, and a little programming, which is awesome. So you get database and programming in that, which you didn't get with us, which, I mean, I gave you that little Scratch program, which I think is a fun way to introduce programming, but that class will give you a better introduction to the concept. So the other thing I would say to you is that I'm teaching a class next semester called CIT-82, Web Technologies. And in that class, we really drill down about how the internet works, how the web works, how you build current websites in the environments that we're in, understanding e-commerce and understanding search engine optimization. Though that's a course that you all would, I believe, I'm pretty sure, even with 12 you can take it, and it's completely online, 100%. At this point, no textbook. There may be some training sites, I'm not sure, but I'd recommend you think of taking that class, because if you found some of the hands-on assignments fun, especially related to the web, then this would be taking it to the next level. And the truth is, this class is meant for students interested in doing web development, but most of us are affected. I mean, all of us are affected by what's happening on the web, the proliferation, the ubiquity. It's everywhere. We don't even realize it. So no matter what career you're going to go into, having knowledge about how this stuff works would be helpful. So that's my pitch. Think about taking the class. Email me directly if you have any questions. And as I started the little talk, you know, my little ending video, right? So any feedback you have about why you feel like this course worked well or didn't work well, either one, and you will have the opportunity in week 14 in the PowerPoint project to give me that feedback. But if you'd like to give it to me directly, I always appreciate it. And I always say to my students, rate your professor. Rate me or look at other instructors. You know, you have choices when it comes to instructors, so definitely, you know, take that into consideration. Don't let that be your deciding factor, but look at that in consideration of what choices that you have for instructors. Okay, it's been my pleasure. I've totally enjoyed this, because I'm saying this like we're leaving, because I won't record another one at the end. That week will just not be feasible for me to do it, and I think it's good to do it right here at the halfway point to kind of just check in and give you that, you know, keep it going. Really, that's what I would say. Just give you that, keep it going, because many of you are doing a great job staying on this course, and I really have enjoyed looking at the work that you've done and grading it and seeing how beneficial that process is. Okay, all right, I'm really leaving this time, no kidding. Peace out.